Let me look up the Vadi video. Wait.
So, I've played Armored Core 6, and long story short, the game is just good. I've never felt so privileged to show off a game before. I know I'm biased since I have this channel and everything, but the game is just so special. It marks the point where an old franchise is coming back to life. It represents a genre that so many new people will get to try for the first time, and yet it's still undeniably a From Software game, with so many familiar hallmarks of their modern game design. But if you are a newcomer to the series, you might be thinking that this combat and UI is overwhelming, and you're right, it is. But trust me when I say that it's worth taking the time to understand it all. So let's start at the beginning. I really hope that Fires of Rubicon resonates with people so that they get the green light to make more of these games. Especially if it means that From Software might start reintroducing some of the more hardcore, more traditional elements of Armored Core. I know that these things can be off-putting to newcomers to the franchise, so I'm not surprised that a lot of them are gone, but it would be so cool if they, got you familiar with the game, with Fires of Rubicon, and then reintroduced some of those things. I think that would be fantastic. If you're curious what those traditional Armored Core elements are, then please consider watching my video where I play through every single prior Armored Core game. All the way back in 2016, we learned that a new Armored Core game was in the works. So back then, I remember thinking, man, I really should go back and play all of the old Armored Core games. I need to understand why people love this series. So in conclusion, I like Armored Core, and some of these games I even loved.
And not in a hipster way, okay? I have loved Armored Core for such a long time. For so long. You could go back and find clips of me from 10 years ago talking about how much I love Armored Core. It's just me being like, woo, Armored Core, let's go. I love big robot game for a really long time. I think the clip one Kind of Funny, they asked me how I felt about Armored Core. And they had asked people that question repeatedly, and I was the only person to ever have played it.
Here is a very hard-hitting question from More saying, does Alana think Armored Core can be revitalized with a new gameplay mechanic?
I think Armored Core can be revitalized anyway. Like, I really like those games. We haven't had a mech game in a while.
It happened! Oh my god!
We have been blessed with an Armored Core Fires of Rubicon gameplay preview on the Bandai Namco Entertainment America website. This has 2.2 million views in 2 days, which I am very excited about. I've said this in case you've missed any of my Armored Core videos. I've been an Armored Core fan for a really long time. My first one was Armored Core 2. I love the series. I've said on the internet many a time that I hope the series returns.
What's one hidden gem game, not including Deadly Premonition, you think everyone should play? I don't even think Deadly Premonition's a hidden gem. That game is pretty much a cult classic. I would say Mia Smarta, which is not inherently good, but does some very smart things that I think other games probably should have learned from, like triangulation. Gods Will Be Watching for similar reasons, RNG. But my main answer, not that much for hidden gem, it was Capcom. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. I just love that game.
And I'm very thankful that I have all of you guys and this channel, as that's what motivated me to push through and understand this franchise. Because of that, I discovered a genre of games that I otherwise might have never discovered. And I think it's a shame that so many other people haven't tried these games. So I hope this video might help to convince a few people to give them a try and to push through any hardships that they'll face.
Also, the missions are not easy. You have to spend many hours on order missions earning money and building up your robot before taking on the story, especially alone. The only answer is practice and repetition, which can get a bit tedious, especially on your own. If you're new to the game and don't have a team to support you, you'll probably fail a lot without really knowing why. It doesn't do anything to make the genre more accessible, and you'll have to be prepared to scale a high entry barrier if you want to get into it. But if you make the effort, you'll find that this is the best mech game in a long time. Let's hope it manages to sustain the active player population that it needs to really shine.
Recently, we were given the opportunity to travel to Los Angeles to play Armored Core 6 in person, hands-on with From Software and Bandai Namco. And not only that, we were given the opportunity to pilot a real-life mech, which was pretty cool.
I was fortunate enough to be invited out by From Software and Bandai Namco to Anaheim, California, to a private event where I got to play the full game for 5 hours. and get an exclusive interview with the director and producer of the game. As a huge Armored Core fan, this is the opportunity of a lifetime, and I was super excited to get to experience the game and meet the developers.
Hello, I have a tiny microphone here at the Armored Core 6 gameplay preview event. We've got a backstage pass at all of the upcoming excitement, and we're gonna get a hands-on experience with the gameplay before any of you. Luckily, a free lunch was provided to every shill in attendance. The devs also got us super high, and his goodie bag is full of bribes. Let's hear my boyfriend's final thoughts on Armored Core 6.
Long story short, the game is just good.
Well, that about does it. That wraps up our time here at Area 51. Big thanks to Bandai Namco for inviting us, letting us try out your cool new game.
All right. Yeah, you got me. Thoroughly intrigued.